But what I will say about the whole experience of being disconnected from my body, I do recall as I was in a coma for 2 days, and I spent 9 days in the hospital, or 10 days in the hospital total. I do recall me seeing myself lying down, but at the same time, I was in a space where I felt so loved, and it just enveloped me like a mother holding a newborn. It was like a safety, it was like a security, and I just felt so peaceful. I was everywhere all at once. Like my consciousness was just heightened 1,000 times. But the crazy thing is that I didn't miss what was on the other side. It was like I was oblivious to what was on the other side. And my wife said to me that she was talking to me while I was lying on the hospital bed with all of these wires and tubes and everything going in me. And she was whispering in my ear, telling me that she loves me and come back, and you're my champion. I love you. We want you here. We need you here. And I told her, I said, babe, I didn't hear a word you said. Like I was not here, you know? But I do recall just feeling like I was so loved. And then I heard a voice. That voice said to me, that is not your time. You can't stay. And I heard that voice just as vivid and just as clear as I can hear my own sound of my voice right now as I'm speaking to you. I couldn't tell if it was a female's voice or a man's voice, but it was loud, but it was also very soft. It was just like, you ever have a book in your hand and you're reading the book, but you're reading the book to yourself? You can hear yourself reading it, but you can't explain exactly, well, what does that voice actually sound like? You just know that it's a voice, right? That's your spirit man talking. And so that's how it was for me. It was a very soft, subtle, but loud at the same time, because it was a perfect silence, just perfect silence. And I remember feeling that I didn't want to return. I didn't want to come back. I wanted to stay exactly where I was. So I didn't see a light. I didn't see family members, things of that nature. But my experience was one of love, safety, pure happiness and joy. And I didn't want to return. I felt like I was in a really good place, and had I stayed a little longer, I would have been okay. I would have gone for good. And my spirit would have been completely satisfied and happy, overjoyed, if you will, with where I was at that time, because I was completely oblivious to anything that was happening on this side. There was no emotional attachment to anything on this side. And I thought that was absolutely amazing, because, you know, when you lose family members and friends, you often wonder if they're thinking about you, if they're watching you, if they're looking out for you. And in that brief moment when I was disconnected, I was unaware. So I was still, I think I was in a place, I was still kind of transitioning. You know, that's the only way that I can kind of make sense out of it and try to interpret exactly what was happening to me at that time. But it totally changed my life, and it totally changed my perspective on life. And, you know, I've always been a reserved, calm, easygoing person, but it just made me that much more calm and that much more easygoing, and that much more appreciative, you know. And it also gave me a heightened sense of compassion, and a heightened sense of love and appreciation, especially during these times right now, when we're seeing so many people pass away from so many different things. You know, we're in the midst of a pandemic. And if you're on social media, you can see all the rest in peace, this person, that person, this person. And it's just so much hurt and it's just so much pain, you know, that people are dealing with. And it's almost like I can feel that. It's weird, and I can't explain it.